Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today was the release of the newest Tall Tale, The Heart of Fire, and I'm going to be going over that in this video. But quickly before we begin, I would like to say that if you don't want to ruin the Tall Tale for yourself, do not watch this video, click off now, and go finish it yourself, and then come back if you feel like watching this video still. But other than that, let's begin. So to start off this Tall Tale, you must head to Morrow's Peak Outpost, and start it from the book sitting next to the tavern woman, and she will give you some dialogue. You'll go outside, you'll talk to Grace, Pendragon will pop up, there'll be some more dialogue, which I'm not going to show not going to show this dialogue in this video, so if you want to listen to the dialogue, if you do the Tall Tale yourself, it'll ruin some of the story, and I would like to ruin as little of the story as I can for y'all. But basically, this book that you're given is Grace's diary, her journal on the Forsaken Shores, and her trackings of Stitcher Jim, my bad. And you don't really need to pay attention to much of this book. It doesn't give you any clues. The only thing that you really need to read, which you don't actually need to read, is the last page of the journal, which tells you to go to Lair's Backbone, which is actually the hideout of Stitcher Jim. Once you make your way all the way over to Lair's Backbone, you will find a little lever up here on the rock after you run up the beach. You can pull down this lever and it will drop down a doorway into Stitcher Jim's lair. And the new chapter in the story will start called The Liar's Lair. And in here you will have to figure out the code to open up this little heart to get the key and more pages into your journal. And in every instance that I have done this cave, it has always been the same code. King, Flame, Heart, which there are 3 symbols throughout the cave that you can hold whatever interact button on, and it'll, say King or Flame or Heart on these symbols, and you align these symbols in the correct order on this little diode up at the top here. And once you line up the correct sequence, it'll open up the little heart symbol here, and you will get the key as well as more pages into your journal, which will direct you on where to go next. The next island that it'll have you go to is actually the Devil's Thirst, back into the Devil's Roar. So you have to make your way down to W21, which is where the Devil's Thirst is, if you didn't already know that. But the hint in the book is to light the chalice on the north beach, or looking out to the north beach. And when you light this chalice, it'll guide you to the end, to the tip of the beach, and you'll jump off the end of the beach with your key in hand and swim down and place it on this little pedestal, which will open up the underwater area, the underground/underwater area of this island. You'll get that little audio cue from Flameheart challenging you to come and stop his ritual and take his chest. And after this, you'll have to make your way through a few jumps. Really, it's not that difficult. Just a couple jumps, even though I did die on it because I'm a fucking idiot, but whatever. A few jumps, and you'll make your way into this room with a bunch of doors with the symbols King, Flame, and Heart on them yet again. The first journal of 5 is actually found in this room. It's just leaning up against this rock, and you can read it. It gives you some backstory, some story, or you cannot. I didn't read through it, really. I just clicked on it and clicked through it just so I can get my commendation. To open up one of the doors, you need to throw some fire bombs that you found in the barrels within the room, or fire bombs that you brought with you down here, into the mouths of these unlit skeleton skulls, and one of the doors will open, depending on how many times you've done this, and you will be thrown into a ton of traps. And after you make your way through some of these traps, there will be a room full of skeletons, much like the Shores of Gold and some of the other tall tales. And throwing a firebomb at another one of these skulls in any of these skeleton rooms that you go into will actually activate a trap and can kill all the skeletons. But my recommendation for doing this solo, this is just for solo, is killing down to just one skeleton that has a blunderbuss and leading him to the edge of the entrance to the room, and going and lifting up the capspan so you can go through to the next set of traps. Now, in my case, I went through the first door, which is the door that has the king symbol on it, and here, when parkouring across this lava river, there is actually the second journal that I have found, and it is just sitting on this little rock leaning up against a little pile of skulls or whatever. After this, there is another room full of tons of skeletons that you can just save down to another blunderbuss if you're on solo, or just have the rest of your crew raise while one person guards. And then you'll be thrown into a ton of more traps. Doesn't really make sense. And once you finish all these traps, you'll make your way into this massive room, which I am actually going to let you listen to the audio of this room because it was really cool.
You tricked me! We were supposed to be in this together!
What a contemptible little man. You should be grateful for what I have done to you. Soon, you will possess true strength, the strength of an Ashen Lord.
And then after this room and its cool little dialogue, you will make your way through a bunch of other traps, carrying Stitcher Jim's Chest of Rage with you. There's a bunch more fire traps, and there's some insta-kill traps, so be aware of that. A lot of these traps will be much harder when carrying this Chest of Rage, and be aware that there's a possibility of you getting this chest stuck somewhere. If you end up dying in the wrong spot, the chest can and will get stuck. So be aware of that. It's super annoying to deal with, but that's just what happens. But running through this area, there's also a bunch of spots to cool the chest off, so you won't have to deal with it blowing up in your face as often as you would if you didn't have these little areas. And once you finish running through all these traps, you will swim up to the top and deliver these chests to Pendragon, who will, in turn, complete the quest for you.
I'm going to attempt to reverse the ritual. I can only hope there's something of my friends left to save. get some rest. Stitcher Jim and his consort are still at large, and now that they've been exposed, there's no telling what their next move might be. Let's be sure nobody else falls into Flameheart's clutches, eh?